What if optimizing the daily workflow of our frontline Mantri in villages could safeguard a micro portfolio worth 705.1 trillion while successfully expanding national financial inclusion? Why is this happening? Because our frontline Mantri are facing a severe cognition overload. They are forced to chase commercial targets, manage debt collection, and provide social mentorship all at once. Thus, that digital apps cannot simply replace in high-trust rural communities. Creates strategic trilemma. Heading into the 20 and 27 corporate planning cycle, we can no longer rely on old methods to break this operational bottleneck. Now, to understand how this operational tension is diagnosed through deep data analytics, my colleague Safa Salsabila Putri Rohimin will guide you.
Now, to form the 2027 strategy, we need to look at the Q1 of the 2026, which is the BRI loan portfolio expanding 5.3 year-on-year, reaching 705.1 trillion rupiah. But the active borrowers show a different. They were decreasing 4.1% to 34.2 million rupiah. This is proof that the collective asset growth was disconnect from the customer expansion because the BRI doing depending relationship with their existing client, the role takes one to secure the non-performing loan, while systematically sidelining their high-risk unbanked segment. To trace this root cause to this paradox, we conduct a 5 diagnosis, which is the first one. The sticking borrower base is because of the BRI selective micro portfolio strategy, and the second one, the strategy is executed because the frontline officer, which is the Mantri, have heavily incentivized to prioritize asset quality to prevent any NPLs. The third one, officer default to this commercial metric because they are suffering from several cognitive overload in their own field. The fourth one, this overall occurs because the head office forced a single individual to take all of that commercial and social target. And then the last one, the root cause. It is because fundamental active sector flow is generated frontline model for single agent to balance opposite mandates without functioning role specialization. This diagnosis proved that the ultimate operation constrained not because the financial or the digital, because of their human interface, which is their 31,000 monthly. Under a generalist one monthly one village is like a four single human asset to handle everything like lending, collecting, mentoring, literacy, and digital onboarding. Which is this will allocated their limited attention spent to their commercial one to protect their profit. The frontline infrastructure is the one that broken that need to be solved, and the recommendation will be breakdown by my partner.
So, to break the operational bottleneck and resolve the strategic trilemma, PT Bank Rakyat Indonesia must transition from a generalist frontline approach to a highly specialized dual-track frontline model. Academic literature by Batilna and Dorado in 2010 highlight that successful dual-mandate organization manage internal tension not by blending conflicting responsibility, but by establishing highly specialized operational rules with distinct identities. Instead of forcing a single officer to change debt collection and teach digital bookkeeping in the exact same 8-hour workday, we will strategically relocate BRI existing file force of over 31,000 Mantri into two dedicated tracks. First, the Mantri Commercial. Their sole mandate is safeguarding asset quality and maintaining strict discipline underwriting to satisfy public capital market expectation. Second, the Mantri Empowerment. Activating as community growth advisor, they will focus entirely on financial literacy, organizing business cluster under cluster Cook Hidupku, and accelerating the graduation of unbankable client into the formal banking system. But role bifurcation is only half of the battle. To ensure these tracks do not operate in silos, we must structurally align the incentive system. As argued by Kupstek at 2007, social and commercial objectives must be systematically quantified and embedded into employee performance scorecards to prevent commercial pressure from cannibalizing social outreach. We propose a redesigned dual KPI framework for the Mantri commercial. 70% of their performance score is heavily weighted toward credit disbursement, volume and asset quality, allowing them to aggressively protect portfolio health. Conversely, for our Mantri empowerment, we remove the stress of loan default metrics, allocating 45% of their scorecard to use social graduation rate and 35% to digital ecosystem onboarding. They are now evaluated and incentivized based on how many unbankable micro merchants they successfully train, upskill, and onboard onto platforms like Link UMKM. Most importantly, we introduced a 10% cross-stack referral success metric for both roles. This creates a shared incentive when a Mantri power firm successfully upgrade a rural client and refers them to a Mantri commercial for formal credit. Both officials are rewarded commercial targets and social mandates are no longer in conflict. They are mutually reinforcing. This model fundamentally changed how BRI utilizes its digital architecture in rural and ultra-macroeconomic segment. Purely digital applications fail because they lack localized social trust and physical mediation. Therefore, instead of executing a costly and high-risk consumer-facing revamp of Link UMKM, we propose repurposing this digital asset as an internal human enabling tools. Under this framework, Link UMKM is transformed into an empowerment dashboard operated directly by the Mantri empowerment during their physical village visit. The mechanism is seamless as the official quotes an MSME through bookkeeping and packaging upgrades. They look this competency milestone on their dashboard. This generates an objective data-driven graduation scorecard. The moment an enterprise achieves bankability, the system triggers an automatic referral alert directed to the Mantri commercial BRI Spot app. The physical relationship remains the core driver of trust, but it is amplified to scale by digital efficiency. To prove this strategy is ready for the 2027 corporate planning cycle, we subjected our recommendation to the FOA, Financial, Operational, and Acceptability Framework. Operationally, this model requires zero external mass hiring. As demonstrated by Kul, Temir-Gurkun, and Mortuch in 2007, microfinance outreach is optimized through the smart deployment and upskilling of existing field staff. By utilizing BRI massive current footprint of 50,000 work units and upscaling our active 31,000 Mantri, this is friction-free internal transaction. In terms of strategic acceptability, the model elegantly resolves both internal and external stakeholders. Internally, it relieves the daily cognitive overload and burnout of officers of the Mantri. Externally, as supported by Ernst and Lansing in 2011, it achieved the perfect equilibrium. Public capital market investors are satisfied because credit underwriting remains highly disciplined, while the state national financial inclusion mandates are aggressively met. Financially, our model follows a highly lucrative G-curve trajectory. While BRI will incur a minor upfront operational expense for specialized Mantri retraining and dashboard update, the long-term returns are exponential. By allowing the Mantri commercial to focus 100% of their attention on risk assessment and collection, we secure the quality of the bank core asset. Even a marginal 0.5% in non-performing loans across BRI massive 705.1 trillion rupiah micro loan portfolio will immediately save trillion of rupiah in loan loss provision. Simultaneously, the Mantri empowerment track accelerates the graduation of PNM and Pegadaian ultra micro client into higher yield formal products like subsidized core. We are not just protecting current profit, we are active building BRI future customer pipeline.
So, the BRI performance data for the Q1 of 2026 highlight the strength of the heart, its hybrid business model. To get planning for the 2027, you need to get 3 steps, which is 1, test the dual-track units in the rural areas to fine-tune job description, workflow, and workload, also KPIs. The second one is upgrade digital tools into dashboard that can track the business progress via like graduation scorecard and handle automatic referrals. The third one is update the payroll performance, a system that bonuses reward will going teamwork, so it won't be like unhealthy competition between them. This is not requiring mass hiring. This is only relocation of the existing one. By focusing the commercial one, a merchant reduction of the NPLs across the 705.1 trillion portfolio will save another trillion in provision. Meanwhile, the empowerment one is secure the future pipeline by systematically upgrading unbanked code of the MSMEs into interest-bearing product. And in conclusion, our greatest asset is not in capital, but in human focus. By specializing frontline roles and using technology to support, not replace human, BRI will prove that profit and purpose it could be thrive together. And let us enter the 2027 with showing that a bank can deliver high returns to the capital market while still remaining the beating heart of Indonesian grassroots economy and also the social segmentation.